She remembered the moment the screenshot arrived. Abrupt, confusing, devastating. A message meant for someone else. A single image that cracked her world open. In an instant, the life she thought she understood unraveled. He had told her he was going on a work trip, but the evidence told a different story. A luxury resort, couples massages, a hidden romance unfolding in plain sight. And now, she planned to confront them, on what should have been a week of rest. What happens when the lies are exposed in real time? Tonight, she would wrestle with betrayal, heartbreak, and a final reckoning. Because some vacations aren't about relaxation, they're battlegrounds. It started with a seemingly innocuous photo. A family snapshot of the kids, still life on the mantle, Amazon delivery notifications, mundane, familiar. But hidden at the bottom was a delivery addressed to a name she didn't recognize. A gift and a clue. Claire, 37, stared at the screen in disbelief. She had trusted the simplicity of their family life, the rhythm of their routines. But the inclusion of that one line in the delivery email, to S from H, set her chest tightening. A woman across the country married herself. A co-worker, a friend, he'd always said, but not in their home, not in their bed. She swallowed hard. She opened his browser history. Her heart pounded in her ears. Emails, Amazon orders, travel bookings. Suddenly, she saw past the facade. All the work trips, the business dinners, the unusual patterns. It was all there. She paused, tears welling. Was it true? Her husband, of 13 years, was having an affair. In the days that followed, Claire turned detective. She tracked credit card statements. She collected reservation confirmations. She cross-checked emails, receipts, shipping addresses. Everything she found built a case. One reservation, a getaway in November. What he called a solo trip turned out to be a romantic retreat. Another, in the present, was even more elaborate. A spa resort with couples massages, cooking classes, personalized bathrobes, monogrammed and intimate. It wasn't just infidelity. It was theatrical. He sent her lingerie, boxes of gifts, and money via Venmo. He planned a January trip to Las Vegas for them. He lied artfully, wearing sincerity when sending surprise presents. Claire rehearsed what she would do. She wrote a 10-page letter, raw, seething, clear. She tucked it into the lining of his suitcase, waiting for the moment it would be discovered. She plotted a coordinated group text to him and the mistress. She decided she would tell the world exactly what she knew when she knew it. She told no one, except her best friend and a trusted attorney. She waited for the trip to begin. In the morning he left, he kissed their children, murmured work deadlines, picked up his bags. Claire watched him walk out the door. The suitcase was heavy, but not heavy enough to conceal a confession. He boarded a plane. She waited, acutely aware of every minute. At precisely 4 p.m. local time, she would send her message, "Enjoy your trip. There's a letter in your suitcase. I want a divorce." As the airplane wheels lifted, she felt a mixture, dread, exhilaration, cold fury. She typed and retyped that group text. She inhaled. She exhaled. Then she hit send. Oh, she thought to herself. Let the collapse begin. She tracked his flight. It landed. She waited. No message. 2 texts she sent were delivered, but unread. She noticed that during his layover, he had texted both her and the other woman. But after final arrival, nothing. She suspected something. Perhaps he flew alone, and someone else picked him up. Maybe the mistress was already there. She paced her kitchen. She called his phone. It rang once, then went to voicemail. Her friend tried texting him. Her friend's text arrived in blue, iMessage. Claire's text stayed green, undelivered. He had blocked her, fully or partially. Her fury grew, sweat prickling on her skin. She paced the hallway. She rehearsed her words. Enjoy your stay. Read the letter. I want a divorce. She resolved. She would call the hotel in an hour. She would connect to their room. The world would see. Time crawled. She sat in front of her phone, staring. The clock ticked. Minutes stretched. Her stomach churned. She thought about the letter's words. Everything she'd withheld. The betrayal. The questions she deserved answers to. Her friend arrived to support her. They plotted the call. They scrolled hotel listings, waited for check-in confirmation, monitored his location via email, if possible. She felt like a war general waiting to give orders. Finally, she dialed the hotel. She asked to be connected to room 524, the room she believed they had booked together. She waited. One moment the desk said, "Heart pounding." The phone rang. Click. A voice. The mistress. She introduced herself sharply. "This is Claire. I want you to tell him to come to the phone." Now, on the line, she heard the young voice across the room. The mistress tried to respond. Claire cut in. "You know what's happening. Don't make me repeat myself." Moments later, his phone rang. He took it. There was no warmth, no guilt, no apology, only cold acknowledgement. "You asked for a divorce?" "Yes." "Fine. Let's talk when I'm home." "No, you won't. Pack your bags. Get out." She spat the words. The volume rose. She could hear them both in the background, surprised, quiet, clashing. Emotion scrambled. When she finally hung up, she sat trembling. She'd done it. But the worst part awaited, his reaction when he returned home. She slept fitfully. Broken glass, torn photos, clothes ripped from hangers. When she awoke, her home was in chaos. Mirrors smashed. Her chest ached. Her head pounded. She replayed the phone call in her mind. His lack of empathy. His refusal to answer her questions. His calm voice while her world burnt. She wondered, was it the man she married? Or a stranger she'd allowed to live in her skin for years? She called her mother. Hard. She felt like a failure, but not her fault. She vowed he would leave Monday night. The doors would be locked. She would not see him again. His name was off bills. His keys are gone. His things in the garage. Divorce negotiations looming. Her heart bruised, but determined. He returned. He walked into a house devoid of welcome. He went to the basement. He watched the children open Christmas gifts, but only briefly. Then he retreated. He asked, oddly, for reconciliation. She laughed. Something bitter and triumphant escaped her. He blamed her. He claimed the marriage had been over for a long time. She countered. No, he chose this, she thought. He chose deception over conversation. He chose narcissism over honesty. They met in mediation. He gave up everything. House, pensions, furniture. He said he just wanted out. She held her ground. She wanted clarity, accountability, a clean cut. And she worried about the mistress. What kind of person cheats knowingly with children involved? When she confronted her on the phone, the line went silent. She realized the insidious web of lies. She was the monster in the narrative he spun, the villain in his stories to others. And that frightened her. He packed the last box. The moving truck left. The house echoed with emptiness. Their youngest wondered, will the truck come back? She choked on the question, explaining no. He was gone. She arranged child therapists. She fielded messages from his friends, some heartfelt, some curious. Many had no idea of the depth. She considered telling his mother about the infidelity. She hesitated. She didn't want to become the messenger of shame, but she also saw no reason to carry this weight alone. She observed a cruel pattern. His father had abandoned him as a child, and now the son repeated the cycle. Was this legacy or cowardice? Weeks passed. Papers signed. Divorce sealed via Zoom. He began apartment hunts. She felt light, like she could breathe again. She refused his attempts to lie about her to the mistress. She refused to argue. She refused revenge. She decided she'd build a life not defined by his betrayal. She closed this chapter not with hatred, but with hard-earned peace. Cheating is a coward's choice, she later wrote. It's not you, it's him, and you deserve your truth. Some betrayals wound you, some shatter you, but not all break you entirely. She found solace in friends. She found her strength in clarity. She found, slowly, the parts of herself she thought lost. If you hear this story, know this: your pain is valid. Your questions deserve answers. And you, too, deserve a world built on transparency, not shadows. Because some vacations bring more than postcards. They bring masks falling, illusions unmasked, and the truth out in the open.